Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. Before we start today's video, you're going to find out a little bit later on how to get a free Philadelphia Eagles jersey via our friends at BetUS. Again, stay tuned for details on that coming up here in today's video. All right, let's go and jump into the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors here on a Monday as the Zach Ertz drama continues to grow. We continue to have updates on that, but unfortunately, there is no official Zach Ertz has been traded or Zach Ertz has been cut. We just have details on when that potentially could go ahead and happen. So the report over the weekend is that Zach Ertz is growing impatient with the Philadelphia Eagles. He wants to be let go. He would prefer to be cut, honestly, because he wants to re-sign with the team of his choice. However, he wants to move on from Philadelphia regardless, and the Eagles, of course, are holding out hope, according to new reports, that they can go ahead and get trade compensation, aka draft picks, in return for the star tight end. Now, the new report that I'm hearing over the past couple of days is the Eagles want a third or a fourth round draft pick for Zach Ertz, which is honestly, to me, a little high. Now, I would love a third and fourth round draft pick if I was Philadelphia, because I think that's a great return in terms of what Zach Ertz is worth right now. But in my opinion, as I said, a fifth round draft pick is probably the highest that I could see Philadelphia realistically getting in return for Zach Ertz. However, the Info Network has the story and the report on this from Tom Pelissero saying, quote, the Eagles insist they will not release their three-time Pro Bowl tight end, Zach Ertz, with multiple teams having shown interest in a trade. I'm told Ertz has grown increasingly impatient with the team to get something done. To this point, the price has just been too high for other teams. The Eagles have been looking for a draft pick, something in the third, maybe fourth round range. Again, that is not necessarily crazy, but it's just a little bit high in terms of what you could expect from Zach Ertz. I think the problem right now is that the Eagles have already revealed their hand that they don't want Zach Ertz to be an Eagle anymore. They want to get rid of his contract, so teams are going to hope and wait out that he goes ahead and gets cut. I doubt Zach Ertz is going to get traded for this exact reason. If you are a team that wants Zach Ertz, why trade for him when you can just wait long enough? And honestly, it's been weeks and weeks of them trying to trade him. You can just wait long enough, and hopefully he's cut by the start of free agency, maybe on Wednesday, who knows, and then you just sign him for a lot cheaper. You don't have to give a draft pick up for him. Like, the Eagles are in a tough spot right now because, again, Zach Ertz knows that they're going to try to get rid of him. The Eagles are trying to get rid of him, and other teams know this as well. They have absolutely no leverage. Now, as I've said before, I want to keep Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz is a valuable part of this football team and will be invaluable for a young franchise quarterback like Jalen Hurts to go ahead and blossom in the new Nick Sirianni offense. However, as we've said, the reports are they want to get rid of him, and the three trifecta of issues that go on with Zach Ertz becoming an Eagle or staying an Eagle is, of course, age plus side of 30, being injured last year, and not playing well in 2020. All of those combined to, one, the Eagles wanting to get rid of him, and two, the market not being that great overall for Philadelphia and Zach Ertz. Now, when you talk about possible trade destinations, we want to throw in quickly a couple of those that could make some sense. And again, the Colts are number one here just because the whole connection with Frank Reich and Carson Wentz, although I really think if they really wanted to trade for Zach Ertz, a.k.a. the Colts want to trade for Zach Ertz, they probably would have just packaged him up in the Carson Wentz deal, right? You could have just thrown him in there and then went ahead and added a fourth or a fifth round draft pick, and the deal would have been done. You could have gotten them both together. Makes no sense to get Zach or get Carson Wentz and then go, well, a month later, yeah, let's go ahead and get Zach Ertz. So the Colts are on everyone's short list right now, but I just don't see that happening. I would throw in the Falcons being a potential signing team just because they weren't very pleased with what Hayden Hurst did in 2020. The Patriots just re-signed Cam Newton, and Lord knows they have absolutely no help on the offensive side. And of course, we know Bill Belichick loves tight ends. The Cardinals could use a tight end, some tight end help for Kyler Murray. How about Seattle? If they're trying to go ahead and throw a bone to Russell Wilson, if they're going to keep Russell Wilson, which is a big if. Maybe he's traded in the next couple of days, maybe not. But that could be a bone to go ahead and toss Wilson's way in terms of getting a guy and bringing in a weapon like Zach Ertz, who I think would be very, very good. Potentially perform really great in the offense that they have, along with Metcalf, potentially the running backs, and then, of course, Russell Wilson. What do you guys think? Are the Eagles going to end up trading or cutting Zach Ertz? I'm not going to give you the option to say they're going to keep him because there's just no way they're going to keep him based on the reports that we're reading that Philadelphia wants to get rid of him and that Zach Ertz is growing impatient. Which do you think will happen, though? Will the Eagles end up trading him or cutting him? Type T down below for trade. Or they're going to go ahead and cut him. You can just go down below and type C down below for cut. Again, I still think it's going to be cut simply because, again, if they were going to trade him, it would have happened by now. But we can still hold out hope to go ahead and get a third or a fourth round draft pick, which would be huge in return for trading Zach Ertz to another team. Now listen, whenever the Eagles do make any sort of moves in the next couple of days and weeks, maybe by the time you watch this video they already have, you should be subscribed to Philadelphia Eagles Now, because as soon as stuff happens, we will get you guys up to date and covered on it here, whether it's trading Zach Ertz, whether it's doing something else in terms of signing somebody in free agency. We have the latest coverage here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, so make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest Eagles news and rumors. Let's jump into some more Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, and that is this very interesting, I'd say development in the free agent wide receiver class, aka Nelson Agholor. So, we talked about in the past Nelson Agholor potentially being an option for Philadelphia. See, as a free agent. Although a lot of people kind of poo-poo that because it's like, well, they went ahead and let him go in 2019. He balled out for the Raiders in 2020. Why would they bring him back after, of course, all the drops and the drama that, of course, Agholor had throughout his career in Philadelphia? However, there was an Instagram video via Greg Ward Jr., and you can go look on Greg Ward Jr.'s Instagram, and you can see that he was posting videos of Jalen Hurts and Nelson Agholor throwing together. So they got together. It was Greg Ward, Nelson Agholor, and Jalen Hurts all doing a throwing session. Not sure where, but they were getting work done and getting some routes being ran in together. And you start to kind of go, okay, Agholor likes Hurts. It's a new coaching staff because he didn't really like the current coaching staff. He's a free agent. He's going to leave the Las Vegas Raiders. This could be a real possibility for Philadelphia. Now, Fansided, who has the article on this, did make a good point about, listen, he can throw and catch with anybody. Read the quote on your screen right now. Now, for what it's worth, all sorts of players work out together during the offseason. The odds of this one video signaling a Philadelphia return for Nelson is rather slim. There's a good chance that he just happened to be in the area, and his former teammate in Ward Jr. shot him a text to come run some routes, which is honestly probably more likely exactly what's going to go ahead and happen. But still, it's interesting that he'd be working out with Hurts and maybe building a connection with Hurts going into the 2021 season. What do you guys think? Should the Eagles bring back Nelson Agholor? Y down below for yes, N down below for no. I wouldn't mind it. I'll give you more details on that in a second. But again, I want to see what you guys think here on if the Eagles should go ahead and bring back the former scapegoat in 2019, but he was really good in 2017. So I'm curious what you guys think. Y down below for yes, and down below for no. As I said, I wouldn't mind Agholor back in Philly. I was very critical of Nelson Agholor throughout his entire career because I think he had a lot of drops and a lot of missed opportunities. That Falcons game in Week 2, 2 years ago, Sunday Night Football, the drop of Carson Wentz, the deep ball that would have won the game. You can make a highlight reel of Nelson Agholor struggling. However, he was really good in 2017. Go back and watch the Super Bowl film. He was fantastic in Super Bowl 52. And if you look at the stats in 2020, he was really good in 2020. He had 48 catches, almost 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns in a Raiders offense that is not terrible, but I wouldn't call it, the cream of the crop offensive, star power that you expect to go ahead and have with the Vegas Raiders whenever they had Nelson Agholor. With Jackson obviously being cut, Jeffrey's going to be cut a little bit later on. We expect Marquise Goodwin to go ahead and be let go. There is some potential spot openings for a guy like Nelson Agholor. I would not mind Agholor coming back and Philadelphia going ahead into the draft and still taking a guy like Jamar Chase. Imagine getting Agholor on a pretty cheap deal, $7 or $8 million a year, getting Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, and then having Fulgham and the addition of Jalen Reagor. That to me is a pretty darn good offense, and I think Agholor, his second stint in Philadelphia, second time around, could be ready to rock in terms of being able to handle the media. And I don't think he was bad with the media and bad with the fan base in Philadelphia, but it definitely got to him a little bit, and the drops kind of started to multiply. I'm not saying he just comes in and is going to be perfect and have no issues, but I think he's a lot better wide receiver than people are going to go ahead and give him credit for. There are plenty of free agent wide receivers that would make sense for Philadelphia. They don't have a lot of money to spend on the big ones like Juju Smith-Schuster, or I don't even think Kenny Golladay is probably going to be a little bit too expensive, but Agholor could be a familiar face you could go ahead and bring back in order to provide not only a spark on offense, but some stability for a guy like Jalen Hurts. And again, just because he's working out with Jalen Hurts does not mean they're going to sign him, but I think it does go a little bit in terms of rumors, in terms of the way that we talk about things here. And it just, if Agholor thinks that Hurts is going to be a superstar, and he finds that out by working out with him, then maybe he takes a deal to go ahead and come back to Philadelphia because he believes in Sirianni, he believes in the offense the Eagles are putting back together, and believes they can be a winning football team in what is a very, very winnable division, which is important to think about as well. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned for that, but Agholor throwing with Hurts or catching with Hurts is something to go ahead and keep our eyes peeled to because you never know what's going to happen as we get closer to the start of NFL free agency coming up here on Wednesday, March 17th. All right, now listen, I know that we talk a lot of football here in Philadelphia Eagles now. However, the big sports stuff going on right now is the NCAA tournament, right? Now, you guys want to bet on the NCAA tournament? I know you do. I put my bet in for Baylor just a couple of minutes ago, and so I want to get you guys not only a chance to bet on your favorite NCAA basketball team, but also get a free Eagles jersey while you're at it. Okay, here's the deal. Very simple. All you got to do, go to chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Put down a $100 deposit bonus or more, use our promo code EAGLES125, and then bet on some national championship odds, right? So all you have to do, again, new BetUS customers, use our link, use our deposit bonus, put down $100, and then place a bet either on the conference champions happening not only not the conference championship games, but the first round happening this week, or on March Madness as well. And then once you put your bets down, go and email us, eagles@chatsports.com with proof, and then which jersey you guys want. We will send you a brand new Eagles Nike Legend Edition jersey in midnight green. Again, whatever size you want, Jalen Hurts or Miles Sanders. So, one more time. Again, chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Promo code Eagles125. First-time customer, put your $100 down, place a bet on March Madness, email us, eagles@chatsports.com, with proof of your bet. That way we can confirm your sign-up, and then tell us which one you want, Jalen Hurts or a Miles Sanders jersey, Nike Midnight Green Edition, and we will, of course, send it to you in any size you possibly want. I, of course, have put my bet down on Baylor. I put down a big bet on the Baylor Bears to be the national champions. So, you know, you can either follow me on that or go somewhere else, but it's a pretty good payout if the Baylor Bears end up doing it. My alma mater, I feel pretty good about them. Any questions, you can always use the email, eagles@chatsports.com, DM me on Twitter, and I'll help you guys get everything set up the way you not only can get betting, because, of course, the tournament starts this week, or, of course, get your brand new jersey as well through our friends at BetUS. All right, final story here, and that has to do with Lane Johnson. We talked about Lane Johnson potentially restructuring his contract last week, and that was supposedly a done deal. We find out today that multiple reports say the Eagles came back to Lane Johnson and said, hey, we don't need to restructure your contract. No worries, continue on. And so that kind of signals that Philadelphia is at a point where they feel very confident that they're going to be under the cap by Wednesday and potentially be able to sign some free agents in the coming days and weeks. Now, again, just because they get under the cap on Wednesday does not guarantee they're going to go and sign people, but it is interesting that the Eagles thought they would need to restructure Lane Johnson's deal, and however, no longer are going to need to go ahead and do that. Ruben Frank of NBC Sports Philadelphia says this, and this is good stuff here, quote, a league source told NBC Sports Philadelphia's John Clark that the Eagles informed Johnson that they no longer need him to rework his contract since they'll be able to get down to their salary cap by the deadline without restructuring his deal. Source told Johnson was willing to restructure, but it simply wasn't needed. So, is it a massive story? No, and Lane Johnson didn't need it to go ahead and happen, and that's good news overall for Philadelphia. But I think it is interesting that you get to a point where the Eagles feel confident enough in their ability to potentially be underneath the cap by Wednesday. They don't even have to re-sign Lane Johnson. Now, there's still some moves that need to be done, and we expect to be done in the coming days and weeks, and we'll watch those here on the channel. I expect them to cut Marquise Goodwin or restructure that contract to get him a lot cheaper. We'll keep an eye on that. Derek Barnett, you extend him for for one more year for $10 million, or do you trade him, or do you let him go? We'll see. The Zach Ertz trade, talked about that. And, of course, Brandon Graham, we talked about his contract being restructured last week, and it still has not been done, and so those are things we're keeping our eyes on here at Philadelphia Eagles now. But I am confident. I think that the Eagles are going to have a pretty good free agency in terms of at least being under the cap. Will they make a big signing? Who knows? But we'll cover it here on the channel. What is your confidence level in the Eagles headed into free agency on a scale from 1 to 10? 1 being not confident at all, 10 being like super confident. I'm curious what you guys think down below right now in the comments section. Ultimately, for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, a lot is going to happen this week, guys. I'm telling you, this is the big week to go ahead and keep your eyes peeled for new videos. And, of course, follow me on Twitter for the latest updates. For Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, as we sign off. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day.